So the news broke today that after 15 seasons as head coach, University of Georgia's Mark Richt is out of the football program. He was a great head coach who was loved by many of his players and his fans, as well as his school, for his attitudes and life lessons on and off the field. However, he couldn't get over the big hump and win the national championship or win the SEC championship because he hasn't been back since 2012 and hasn't won it since 2005. However, I'm not here to discuss whether or not this was the right decision by the athletic program, but I am rather here to discuss alternate solutions to fill that vacancy. So we will go ahead and get started with that. The first option we presented is the most obvious option to people, and that is Alabama's current defensive coordinator, Kirby Smart. Now, he has an impressive track record, but the reason many fans are attracted to him is because he played defensive back for the Bulldogs for 4 years from the year 1995 to 98. He has coached the Dogs in a couple years as a grad assistant and was a running back coach in 2005. His defense at Alabama has been very impressive and has only finished outside the top 10 once in his career as defensive coordinator there. He's a very good recruiter in the Southeast, and his recruiting grounds will translate over to Georgia if he were to become head coach. Another big thing that UGA boosters, alumni, fans, and the athletic department is going to be looking for is national championships and SEC championships. And as defensive coordinator at Alabama, Kirby Smart has knocked out 3 of each of those, and that is something fans would really appreciate here at Georgia. While all of that is very impressive, we also have some negatives to discuss about Kirby Smart, and the first is the obvious one, that he's never been head coach before, so making that transition might not be as easy for him. He is a defensive mastermind, and typically offensive geniuses do better as head coach when they first come into a head coaching position. And also, Georgia's defense has been superb in recent years, whereas the offense has been lacking, so Kirby Smart might not bring in the necessary tools to turn the next page at Georgia. Another prime candidate that the University of Georgia would like to target is Florida State's head coach, Jimbo Fisher. One of the first reasons I wanted to bring him up is that one of the main reasons for Mark Richt's firing is his track record against Florida. He posted a 5-10 record in 15 years, which was very disappointing because Florida has been down in recent years, and Georgia fans would have liked to see more of Georgia winning and less of Florida winning. Jimbo Fisher has been able to compete against the Gators and win against the Gators in recent years, and that really speaks volumes for many Georgia fans. Jimbo Fisher has been 68-13 in his first 6 seasons as Florida State's head coach, which is very impressive. It comes out to be 11.3 wins per year. Mark Richt only averaged 9.6 wins per year in his 15 years at Georgia. Jimbo Fisher can win quickly as soon as he gets in his head coach position, as he did at Florida during his inaugural season. He posted a 10-4 record, and I really think Georgia fans would appreciate a coach that can win quick and not go through a long transition period of rebuilding and posting 6 and 7 win seasons trying to get recruits to come in. Unlike Coach Mark Richt, Jimbo Fisher has won the national championship, which I know Georgia fans really want, and that would be really nice to have. He's offensive minded. He's coached offensive coordinators and been a quarterback's coach. He can still use the recruiting grounds that he's established in the Southeast while he's in Athens. The only negative I see for Jimbo Fisher is if he wants to come to Georgia and leave his Florida State position. Right now he has it made. He's competing in the SEC, which is a weaker conference, so I'm not sure if he'll want to come, but we will see about him. The last candidate is Tom Herman from the University of Houston. He reportedly said that he's highly interested in the coaching vacancy at UGA, which makes him a good candidate. Here's why. He's a young rising star in head coaching who's really just come on the page as of recently. We'll start in the beginning. He coached at a few small schools before he finally got to Ohio State, and that's really where he stepped in the limelight. He was the offensive coordinator in Ohio State's national championship season last year. Ohio State torched Alabama in the college football playoffs, and that is really impressive because Georgia's offense could not produce that this past season against Alabama and only scored 13 points, I think. He runs more of a spread-like scheme and really open up the field, But that also brings in a negative because Georgia runs more of a pro-style offense, and they have the #1 recruited quarterback right now who said he wants to run a pro-style offense. So they might lose a quarterback with it, but a head coach is way more important, in my opinion. After his season at Ohio State, he went to Houston, where he posted a 11-1 record as their head coach in his first season, which is very impressive. And he was rumored to be going to the University of South Carolina just after 1 year, but those rumors quickly dwindled after Georgia's vacancy opened up, which means he might be interested. He has had a major role in recruiting the Atlanta area, so that's not a problem. The only negatives I see for him is that his track record is very short, and we don't really know if he's going to be the next guy or not because he has not established himself. So those are the 3 guys that I see to be best fit for Georgia's position. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Thank you. Have a nice day.